So you guys, um, today's Sunday, according to this 4:27 p.m. So you learn to embrace wholeness. Topic of discussion. Continue this on the 23rd of February, 2025. So you learn to embrace wholeness, especially on this. Just tapping in with yourself. What are your negative or positive, or whatever feeling you're in? You learn to embrace the wholeness and be whole because you realize that whatever side you're on or feeling, you realize that it's one of two halves to a whole. So you don't really care about like going which direction, left to right, as far as like emotions, feelings, energy, whatever the state of being. It just really puts you at that singularized point where you're just in being. You know what I'm saying? You're not even tripping because you realize whatever happens is just one of two halves to a whole. That's all it is. So you don't really trip about it. Whatever feeling you feel or whatever happens in a moment, it's just a half to a whole. It's just an aspect, you know, and you start to appreciate, especially life, just being on the path. It's a part of it. You don't look at it as something outside or something crazy or grand. It's just, two as a whole. You look at it as like life, flower of life, the beauty of life. You learn to embrace the wholeness, you know. That's if you're like, tapping in with yourself. Realize that duality is in fact normal. What they tell us what good and bad is just a program. It's to get us to move how they move and become day minions. Not actually go with the flow, with life and actually continue their insanity again. That's what they want. The good and bad is their insanity. But the actually good and bad of life, the inner darkness, in the inner goodness, it's just normal. Normal as it's just life. Not the programs that was given to us in the natural behaviors, because that's insanity to continue their game. You know what I'm saying? And you start to understand that by just tapping in. You may have. It's not even about having a good day and bad days. It's just ebbs and flows. Because once you're on this, it's just gonna cycle between good and bad. Not necessarily good and bad that you feel good and bad. It's more so energy wise and frequency. You know what I'm saying? So you just embrace it. Because the good and bad, like they 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 program us to think is just opposing each other when it doesn't make any sense. Like they said, there's no one without the other. There's no left without right. They say that, but it's like all this division in the world and all this hate when this is opposing, when it's all a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no left or right. There's no man without, a woman. There's no jumper without, hitting the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like they talk about bad, good, but then it's like they they shame or they do this because it's just opposition to continue their program. That's just the way it is. So you have to embrace the wholeness of life, the negative and the positive. Not as means of doing bad or good behaviors. We talk about as energy, emotions, and how you are in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a part of each other. It's normal. The universe works in like duality. And when you're in that singularized point, you're gonna able to be balanced within the two because it's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be insanity, you know. Because the good and bad they got us in is to continue their game. Go this way, go that way, and be retarded. And you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You realize that it's all part of each other. You just gotta just keep going. You gotta just keep being present. You know what I'm saying? All that is to continue to just the game. It's just so when you're on a path, you realize that whatever you're feeling, whatever's in a moment, is just one of two halves to a whole. That you got to keep going and it will just align and make itself right. You know, during the moment. You know what I'm saying? So why trip? Why sell yourself short? You know, why give up? You know, why feel shame, feelings of prejudice, or whatever you feel? Because the moment or your feeling, that's just programming. You know what I'm saying? Or natural, not even natural, I mean nurtured ways of living, of habits throughout the years of you being here. It's not actually really just normal to your function as a human being. It's been ingrained in you. You have to move over that and understand that by, you know, of course, of you by tapping in. And you're gonna learn that when you like tap in. That's all I learned. Whatever I'm feeling, whatever's in the moment, it's just one of two halves to a whole. Whether it's kind of bad or good or whatever. If it's something slight, you know, or major, so I don't really trip about it. And I always remind myself, you know, it's only just two halves to the whole. You learn how to embrace wholeness. You know, that's what it kind of taught me. I'm able to embrace wholeness and just be. Whatever happens, that energy is, if it's light or whatever, it's just one or two halves of the whole that I got to keep going and flow. And this is going to be the pattern of life, just like a butterfly. You know, it's at first you know, a caterpillar, and it just blooms. That's how it is in life, the natural life, not this fake AI matrix program.